Yeah. So nude selfie day. That's a thing. And you're listening to the Geek Awakens. How that correlates, I'm really not. Well, we did to the Pokeball thing. I guess there's that. But,
Yeah.
So we just started the recording on Ustream. We'll see how that goes. They missed my mess up, so it's okay. And they haven't really missed anything else other than, nude selfie day.
Yeah. I mean, we've still got a few hours. But maybe we should.
I mean, I'm going to go to bed at like 10, so I've only got like 3.5 hours left. But it's okay.
It's okay. You can send a lot of nude selfies in those 3 hours.
That's true.
I mean, legitimately. It depends on your rate of snap and sending.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, there is the aspect of you can send it to multiple people at the same time.
It's a valid point.
Right, but I have short arms. I feel like those are not going to be like actual nude selfies. It's just going to be like...
Well, if you stand in front of a mirror, you're set.
Oh, that's true.
Or
logistics of the nude selfie.
Or you could like do it in like sections.
Start with my toes.
Well, wait, isn't there like a panorama mode on our phones?
Yeah, but I don't know if you...
Where you can be like...
I kind of want to just see what that looks like, because it's going to be all glitchy.
Yeah. And if she's not careful, if she messes up, she might end up being like 8 feet tall.
Hey, that'd be new.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
So, yeah.
Send a nude selfie day, folks. And today's episode is brought to you by Send a Nude Selfie Day.
That would be an awesome sponsorship. I support that.
That would be. Let's get on that.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, it's not going to be for another year, but, whatever.
Right. So, all right, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And, we are so preoccupied about nude selfies. Like, people don't know who we are.
Oh, that's a valid point. Like, I guess we should... Okay, well, that's Mitch.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, what's up?
That's Tabitha.
Hello.
And I'm Pickett.
Yeah.
So, hi.
I
failed at life today, guys. I apologize.
You got distracted by nude selfies. It's okay. Everyone does.
Speaking of, hey.
Also, I like how last week Tabitha was gone and Matt was here, and this week Matt's gone and Tabitha's here. And I feel like they got into a fight or something. They're not talking, and then they're not telling us.
We're actually just the same person.
I was just going to say, look, I'm not saying they're the same person, but in the last 2 weeks, I have not seen them in the same place at the same time. Just throwing it out there.
And then how do you explain Chuck? Or is he just always just a figment of my imagination?
Who's Chuck?
Yes!
I have a lot of things to think about.
That was great.
That was great.
If we do nothing else for the entire show, we did that.
I hope you're proud of yourselves.
We are.
You've made me question everything.
My mission in life is accomplished.
It's my lot in life. It's not a lot, but it's my life.
Is that when you just like start like floating away or whatever?
Like mic drop and leave the room. I'm more
please don't drop the mics.
I'll drop my phone.
Okay, that's fair.
Perfect.
So anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're so preoccupied by
nude selfies
and existential crises and yeah. So anyway, gonna start off first today with something that was actually released this morning. The new teaser trailer or whatever for the new Star Trek series was released. Not really a lot of information, but we do know that it's not a reboot. It said specifically like, what was it? New ships, new villains, new heroes, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
set in the same universe, different characters, different everything is what I got from it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm not as interested.
I don't know. I think I'm a little more interested.
Same.
I'm
tired of seeing them do the same characters over and over.
I'll have to then check out the trailer, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have any details as to who these new people are or what the new villains are or whatever like that. Hell, we don't even know if this is going to be on an Enterprise.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably will, but
I'm just thinking of how weird that would be if it wasn't.
Well, they have to have some main tie-in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you had both Deep Space Nine and Voyager. Neither one of those.
Well, that's a valid point.
I'm making a terrible face right now because I don't like those, and
But they existed.
I know.
They were there.
True.
It's true.
But I mean, just with the popularity of like the new movies and stuff, I feel like they would have to tie it in somehow to where people could relate to it for the new movies. The ship would be a good way to do that. If it's going to be new characters and new villains, they got to have something solid to hang on to.
It would be nice if they were able to tie in something from... If they're trying to base this like off the movie series, then maybe tie it in with a few of the characters from the movies in the first episode. Like kind of like they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that actually does... It brings up a good point, too. Like, is this going to follow the movie, or is it going to... Because technically... The movie and the most recent franchise is set in a different reality from what we knew, back with the original series and the Next Generation and all that.
Right.
So
we haven't entirely...
Which one are they going to follow?
Well, they'd have to follow the new, which is okay because it just opens up for more possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make the most sense. It's kind of like X-Men. Mm-hmm. Everything with X-Men's changed, and so now we get to start over. Essentially, so I'm very interested to see what they do with Age of Ultron, or not Age of Ultron. That's the second time I've done that. Apocalypse.
There you go.
Nice.
Anyways, hey, speaking of TV, really quick, I'm gonna cut in for a second. I did have one story. We talked last week about Supergirl moving over to the CW, and they confirmed this week that they are going to do an annual crossover with Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and The Flash, which I'm super stoked about already.
Yeah.
As of right now, and I don't know what night they're going to do it on, but I'm hoping that either, because it's on Monday nights right now, and I'm hoping they either keep that.
They're keeping it on Mondays.
Oh, see, that's amazing. So we'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights of superheroes. I am so in. I'm so happy with the CW right now.
That's just so much. I don't watch any of those shows. I feel like I have to turn in like my nerd card, but like I have a hard time watching TV shows as it is, unless they're like on Netflix and I can binge watch them. Like if I have to wait a week, I get really irritated.
Right.
Instant gratification.
But, yeah, I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
I hate that.
I know, right? But, but yeah, as we've talked about before, like I don't follow Arrow or The Flash right now. They're on my to-watch list. I've been watching Legends of Tomorrow, but I'm so far behind right now, and I'm trying to get caught up on Supergirl. And even as I've stated in the past, like Supergirl, well, we'll see. Right now,
now you've got a new thing coming up here,
yeah.
Because like you said last week, you always try to watch the first season. If it doesn't catch you by then, you won't watch it. But we're gonna have essentially a new first season.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see how my feelings change. Towards August or whenever it premieres. But it will be interesting, though, because... And I just watched the Flash episode of Supergirl the other night. And, spoiler alert, even though it's, like, months old. But Supergirl doesn't exist in the same universe as the Flash. And he exists in, with Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. They're all in the same, realm or whatever. So it'd be kind of interesting to see, how they're going to pull off, a annual crossover episode, adding her into it without making it kind of stale. Like, oh, how'd Kara get into the universe this time?
Did you just get a nude selfie?
I did not. It's my mother.
Oh, we can hope it's not a nude selfie.
So anyway, while that's going on, Tabitha,
yes,
I want your life.
You want my life?
Because you've been like jet setting and whatever to all these cons this spring, and I'm kind of jealous. You were at Indianapolis Comic Con a couple weeks ago. You were at BookCon this past weekend.
I was.
I mean, of those two, what was some interesting things that happened?
So Indianapolis Comic Con was a lot better than I kind of anticipated. I had gone to Wizard World in Louisville, which was like this skidamarinky-dinky-dink kind of thing. Like it was like real little, and there were like no people there. It was essentially like an Arrow reunion, but there wasn't like a lot of vendors or like a lot of comic. Like
I would have been okay with an Arrow reunion Comic-Con.
I mean, I don't watch that stuff. Like the person I went with was like super stoked to be there, but I was like, okay, I'm expecting Indianapolis Comic Con to be smaller than that. Way better. Way better. Met Joffrey, whose name is slipping my mind right now, that plays Joffrey on Game of Thrones. I actually went to get something signed for a friend, and he was amazing. Like, he's Jack Leeson. There it is. Super nice kid. A friend of mine went and met the guy that plays the Emperor in Star Wars, whose name is also slipping my mind right now. Help me out, guys. What's his name?
Palpatine?
Yes.
No, that's not his name.
No, that's his name, but like his
actual
like, his
real
like, real
name,
life name. I don't know what it is, but a friend of mine met him. The cosplay at that one was amazing. Like, you could tell it was people that like were really excited to be there because of the stuff that was there, not excited to be there for the celebrities, which once again, I'm going to get on my soapbox about how that I feel like Wizard World is all about the celebrities, but it was laid back. It was well organized. The vendors and like all the artists and things that were there were just absolutely phenomenal. We walked around. My friend of mine that I went with has been collecting all the Uncanny X-Men, and he's only missing like one small section of them. You don't even want to know how much money Mike spent. It was ungodly. Like, he was just like making it rain up in Comic-Con. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, I'm sweating every time he goes up to a booth because I'm like, do you have any things I could buy with that much money? But, and my husband went with us. It was my husband's first Comic-Con, like, experience ever.
Which I was actually really surprised to see that he went.
Yeah, because you guys know my husband. He is not geeky. He is not nerdy. He is not into that stuff. He had to borrow my Captain America shirt to like fit in. He was like, can I wear my Bears shirt? And I'm like, no, wear my Captain America shirt. But Indianapolis, a lot of fun. BookCon. So BookCon was just this last weekend, and I was so excited, and I got to meet a lot of the people that I'm like friends with on social media, that I've been friends with on social media for a really long time. Got to meet some of them. That was really cool. The people that organized that convention did the worst job of anything I've ever seen.
Really?
It had the worst lines, no directions. Nobody was telling you where to go. People were giving people incorrect information. There were lines for like the autograph signings of authors that people didn't even know they were in. And they were in these lines, and they got up there and they're like, I don't want a wristband for that. Why have I been standing in line for 4 hours? Like, didn't know where they were.
Well, first of all, hold on. How are you going to stand in a line? You don't even know what you're standing in line for.
Well, they thought they were standing in line to go in because they had like, you had to get wristbands for the autographs. So like you stood in line to get the wristband for the autograph, but the wristband line for the autographs was like intermingled and like interwoven with the line just to get in.
I got you.
Awful organization. Worst organization I've ever seen of a con in my whole life. Like I don't panic in large crowds. I was getting panicked because I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to go, what I was supposed to do. I essentially found one stage to sit at and watched like all of my favorite authors do a bunch of panels and just sat there all day. And it was great. It was, that part of it was great, but like I didn't get any autographs. I didn't try to scramble in there to get like free copies of books. I don't need any books. I just moved. I moved over 800 books.
Oh my God.
I guess the next question I'm going to ask you is going to seem monumental. We'll talk about that in a moment. Go on.
But it was, I mean, I liked it. I wouldn't probably pay to go again, honestly, unless it was like somebody there that I was like, oh my God, must meet, blah, blah, blah. But I did. I had a lot of fun meeting like social media friends and stuff like that. But
now, was this like what, like the second year for BookCon, or? I
think so. They usually can like combine BEA and BookCon, Book Expo America, and BookCon are usually combined. Last year they were in New York. This year they were in Chicago. Next year they're going back to New York. They've already announced they're going back to New York next year. So I wanted to go to BEA. BEA is during the week, and BookCon is on the weekends. Me getting a week off because banker's hours is really hard. So unless I want to take a vacation and go to New York next year, probably not going to happen. Yeah.
So you're a book reader, right? You book, right?
I book, yes. I have 800 of them, and I just got back from a convention. What was your first clue, Pickett?
I don't know. Maybe it was like when you're like, hey, here's the same copy of this book that I have. I have 4 of them. And I said, why? Because, right. No, so I have a friend of mine. Her husband just published his first novel.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about books. That's not true. I read books, obviously.
They're pieces of paper with stories in them.
Oh my
and
gosh,
they're
that's what those things are
together.
called?
It's so crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I like the ones with pictures.
Me too.
Me too sometimes. It's okay.
So he just published his first book, and I've tried getting into it a little bit, and I haven't really. I'm terrible at reading. I'm not that great. I want to interview this guy, but I want to have somebody who's read this book.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about getting you a copy of said book and having you read it for me.
Bring it on.
Okay.
I do free reviews for authors on NetGalley. I also do paid reviews for HarperCollins.
Look at you.
And, oh gosh, Scribe Books sometimes. They send me free copies and I review them.
Awesome.
So I'm very brutal and very honest. I don't know if you guys have met me or not. But
It's terrifying.
But yeah, bring it on. I'll totally do that.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. It'll be fun. He has a book signing party coming up that I've been invited to.
Sweet.
So I wanted to try to get it in before that and get the stuff going and see what happens. Plus they're gonna have like wine and stuff, so I'm always down for that.
Oh, nice.
My mother, random side note about wine. During the last show, the Wedding Singer just wrapped Sunday, and so during the run of the show, I occasionally will bring an alcoholic beverage to the cast, and everybody kind of just shares it. It's not usually a huge thing, but one of the things I brought was this thing I called Gold Star, and it was mixed with a Moscato and some lemon and all that. Anyways, but I had some leftover Moscato here at the house, and my mom was like, can I try that? I'm like, sure. Today, she was on her way to Sam's. She gives me a call. She's like, what was the name of that Moscato again? I'm like, Mom, you don't drink. She goes, I know, but it was really good.
You've created a monster.
I have.
A momster, even.
Oh.
That was bad.
It's okay.
No.
Anyways. All right, what else we got, Mitch?
All right. A lot of stuff still, but hey, it's cool. So anyway, so speaking of cons, New York Comic Con a couple days ago, they announced a new step in order to get tickets. And I'm bringing this up also because if you don't know, the people who put on New York Comic Con also put on C2E2. But anyway, they're doing this new thing. It's called fan verification, where for you to even be able to buy a ticket, you have to fill out a profile. For this, it's between May 20th and June 13th, so before the tickets go on sale. The reasoning behind that is to prevent scalpers and, basically the people who suck the fun out of everything when it comes to something you have to buy a ticket for. I keep going kind of back and forth on this because it seems like a good idea, but it also seems like it might be a cluster trying to do all that, especially if it's a situation where, I'm going to get the tickets for, me, and, I'm going to buy the tickets for my crew. That way it's done and over with and they can pay me back or whatever.
Yeah, when I do a Comic-Con, other than what we went to C2E2 and I had that ticket on my own, but that was easy to get because we just pick them up over at Killins. But when I do Comic-Cons that I arrange, I just pick up all the tickets at once. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that would be a massive nightmare for me.
Yeah. And that's actually another thing, too, with this fan profile thing or fan verification thing. They're not allowing any other third parties to sell tickets. So if this were to, come to C2E2, that means that you wouldn't have been able to go to Killins or whatever to pick up that pass.
Oh, see that? I'm out. Like, going to Killins made the whole thing easier. I didn't have to buy it online. Yeah. I didn't have to wait in line when I got there. I mean,
yeah,
that'd be a deal breaker almost.
And also with this, like, even, and obviously if you're filling out the profile before, tickets even go on sale, that doesn't even guarantee you that you're going to get a ticket. So you could be doing this extra step for nothing.
How detailed is this profile? Like, what's it require of you?
Is it like a quiz? Like, name 16 superheroes, go? I mean, how does that... What is
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I feel like that would really narrow down the...
Right?
The way that I understand it, and it's probably more detailed than I read, but I guess you have to... you'll type in like your email and like some basic information or whatever. And it's just a matter of them sending an email to that address, and then you have to verify, hey, this is real, I'm not a robot.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like... So why do it at all then?
Well, so that you don't have... Which, I don't know if this is a big deal in terms of cons. I mean, I've never noticed it, but I mean, you know, so you don't run into a problem like, you know, with a concert or whatever where it sells out in 5 minutes, and that's because people have a program set up or whatever to purchase a bunch of tickets so that they can go around and sell it for double or triple the amount.
See, I haven't.
I've never seen like a scalper standing outside of a comic.
I haven't.
Right.
Like,
I've never seen somebody with a sign that said, "I need tickets."
No.
That's not something.
Because to be fair, like the ones that we typically around here get and go to don't sell out. Like
Right.
if they did that for like VIP passes or something, I would get it. Yeah. But like just regular old entrance tickets, unless it's like
Right.
San Diego Comic-Con, because that sells out in like 2 seconds flat.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really obnoxious, by the way.
Yeah.
I was able to buy tickets this year. I didn't. I haven't yet. I don't even know if they're selling them yet. I knew I wasn't going to go next year, but I really want to go to San Diego.
Me too.
That's just so far away.
You know, it's one of those things, like, you have to plan that years in advance. So that's why I've got my name in the system already.
Just in case. Yeah.
Just in case I decide to go. Because you got to register for that crap early.
Yeah.
So if you haven't registered, get registered. Just in case. And then once you go the first time, you're pretty much in. Fun fact.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That'd almost be worth it just to like get it out of the way. So if like 10 years from now you're like, oh dang, look at all this money I have. Let's go.
But have you seen like as much as I still even do want to go, like I've seen pictures of people like at San Diego Comic-Con, and it's like you're just trapped. Like if a fire were to break out, you would die.
I'm shocked they haven't moved it to Vegas yet. I know that was kind of a discussion at one point, right?
I know that they were talking about moving. I don't know about. I don't remember if it was moving cities completely or just moving to a different venue.
Well, I heard they were talking about moving it completely because San Diego was like, no.
Oh,
they
yeah,
started
you're
like
right.
that petition.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I'm
that
like-
city is not easy to get around in to
No,
begin
San
with.
Diego's it's a pain.
Yeah.
I've only been there twice, but still.
Yeah, it's a cluster.
Yeah,
And I can't, with like that surge of people, I feel like it just, like seeing the pictures of like those crowds makes me nervous. So,
that's why I think Vegas would be
yeah.
a great place for it. Plus, they have the lodging. It just seems like the better option.
And I mean, you see a lot of like half naked cosplayers anyway. Can you imagine that at Vegas?
I was about to say that. I was like, wouldn't it be funny to walk into a casino and you see like, I don't know, Batman and My Little Pony, like,
Oh my god,
cha-ching with the penny slots.
that would be so awesome. All right, so I'm thinking maybe even just some like random Friday night, we should dress up as My Little Pony and Batman and like go to
Like one of the little slot machine places. I'm in.
Super down. Let's do it. I mean, we could even just like, doesn't, what's it called? What's that town? Peoria? Have a, like a
Yeah.
Yes,
casino?
the boat.
Yeah.
The
There
boat.
we go.
Peoria or even St. Louis.
There we go.
Yeah,
Peoria's a little closer, but yeah.
yeah.
Can you imagine My Little Pony playing some blackjack?
Oh my god.
I was like, I wish I could make that noise, but I can't.
I got you.
And then you made it. Thank you.
I so want
That's what
this
I'm
to be a
here
thing.
for. We should look. I'm down to make this happen. I mean,
I'm super in.
Well, we'll talk more after the show. I'm the wheels are turning.
Oh no.
I
Maybe
knew I
we
smelled
could even
smoke.
maybe we could even like broadcast live. Like
You know, we do have that option.
right.
Although a lot of casinos don't allow phones to be out in pictures and stuff.
That's true.
Bastards.
That is true.
Terrible people.
So anyway, moving on. There's going to be a new. Well, it's not a Sherlock Holmes comic book per se, but it's it's based off of his older brother, Mycroft. Thank you. Minecraft Jones.
Yes.
But anyway, here's the kicker. It's going to be written by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Can he write? Can he read?
That's mean.
I think that about a lot of sports people. I'm sorry.
Um,
At least you know who he was.
You don't know who he is?
No.
You didn't ever play that basketball game on your old school computer where you could like tap, 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 tap and shoot the ball and be him? No?
No.
Guys.
L.A. Lakers, I mean, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, he probably should be in the Hall of Fame. Anyway. But apparently, according to this article, he's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes buff, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So
it's fascinating information.
It's going to run for 5 issues and published by Titan Comics. The first issue is going to be out on August 3rd. So keep an eye out for that.
It's like an early birthday present for me.
Same here.
Cream's got your back.
When's your birthday?
August 6th.
Mine is August 4th.
It's more for her. She won.
I'm closer.
Yeah. But, I mean, if we're playing by Price is Right rules, you both went over, so neither one of you win.
It's a valid
True. I don't like the price.
I'm still under. I basically bid $1, so I won.
I bid $1.
Oh, Lord.
So
What has become of us?
So, DC introduced a new logo that's going to debut or whatever with Rebirth next week.
The reboot?
Yes, that. Have you guys seen the logo? The new logo?
No.
It's a lot cleaner than the current look. Which
Okay.
yeah.
Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then.
It looks like a sports logo to me.
It does. It does a little
Thank
bit.
you.
It looks a lot. Yes.
Like I see it like on like a jersey and like a number on the back. I don't know.
Which
Because that's how jerseys work.
The DC heroes.
clearly. Jim Lee he gave a little bit of more insight to it, and he said that the nooks and angles are meant to evoke the Superman S, the Wonder Woman WW emblem, and the Bat logo. So the kind of sharp edges or whatever of the logo are there for a reason.
Okay.
Which I keep going back and forth. I don't know if I see it. I mean, once I read it, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see what they're talking about, but
I don't know.
I feel like that's one of those things where they're like, yeah, we're just going to make some stuff up so people think this is like something cool and it means something, but it doesn't. It's like every literature class ever. Like, I don't know.
I just feel like we're back to this, is the dress blue or white thing.
I missed that game.
The dress was definitely blue.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh God. I don't remember what I thought it was. I think it was blue.
It's blue.
I think I said it was blue.
You know what? It's a logo. It's nice. It's whatever, but
It does. It looks like a sports team to me. I don't know. I'm always going to... I don't know. I don't like it. Are you guys shocked? I don't like something.
I'm shocked. Shocked.
Speaking of stuff that you don't like, you said that you were going to rage about this.
All right. Popping my neck, getting ready, take out my earrings.
So go ahead and fire away.
Okay. So
Your best shot. Don't you hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Sorry.
I was waiting for that to be done. All right. So it popped up in my news feed, and I was at work, cruising on my phone like I, do at work, working. That there's been the guy who plays Finn, whose name is escaping me once again from Star Wars.
John Boyega.
Thank you. Why am I so bad with names today? That he did a press release or something, some kind of interview where he made a statement that, they were talking about the romance that's blossoming in Star Wars. Pause. I cannot stand. It drives me absolutely bananas every time they take a movie, a superhero movie, an action movie, I don't even know, a comedy, like anything, and there's gotta be a love story. It's been bothering me in books for like my whole life. It's starting to bother me in movies now. Not everything needs a love story. Not everything needs a love story. We had Han and Leia. It was not really a love story so much as we're going to be sarcastic to each other and then we're going to create an evil baby. But whatever. I just don't understand why there needs to be a love story. I don't know why we're worried about it. I don't know why we're talking about it. It's Star Wars. You know what I think of when I think of Star Wars? It's not a love story. If I wanted a love story, I'd go watch a Nicholas Sparks movie where two people almost kiss each other. I don't care. makes me very angry. You look at your watch to see how long my tirade is going to
No,
go.
my watch buzzed, and I thought there was a reason for it buzzing, and there wasn't.
Did you get a nude selfie?
Don't worry about it.
By the way, for anybody just tuning in, today is apparently National Nude Selfie Day, just so you're aware. Sorry, go on.
It may or may not have been from somebody's mom.
Oh, come on!
You got to tell her to quit doing that.
God, why would you say that? I'm going to have nightmares.
Okay, so anyway, the post was basically asking if we would like to see a relationship between Finn and Rey and Poe, or Poe and Finn. Part 1, I don't need any of it. But if you were to have one of those things, what would you guys want it to be?
If I had to pick?
Between those 3 options for a romance to blossom.
Personally, if I had to pick one, I love the idea of, and it's just because I like it, Rey and Finn. I love that idea.
Okay.
I don't know. Can BB-8 and Chewie be an option?
No. You have to pick one right now. I said so.
And maybe just for the shitstorm that it might create amongst the conservative Star Wars fans, I think I would be team Finn and Poe.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, that lip bite look with that jacket was super real. I'm not going to lie. Even if that was an accident, I was like, okay.
It looks good on you.
Like, I don't bite my lip at anybody, but if I did, it's not usually.
I just bit my lip just because I was thinking about it. I'm like, stop! No, stop with the lip biting and such.
Total 50 Shades of Grey move. Stop it.
No, Tabitha, I will not send you a nude selfie.
Dang it! This day is just getting worse and worse.
But I am going to send one to John.
Perfect. He'll love it. He will be very confused.
I thought you just meant that you're going to send one to yourself.
Well, no. I was obviously referring to her John.
My husband, not my John.
Her John. That does sound...
Yeah.
You're right. Valid point. Sorry. Her husband. Hey, look. He's like... I would say a good 50% like of the reason this studio exists right now.
I mean, you did almost break his arm. So that's fine.
There were so many things almost broken, including my spirit.
I was just about to say, my spirit was broken. So,
Do you guys remember? So, little sidebar here. First night of moving the studio consisted of us coming to the new studio location and clearing it. Now, I thought in my mind that it would be a quick, 30-minute deal. And so
that it was not.
We got down here, and it was just like that instant moment when we all realized really how much there was to do. We're like, oh, no. Why? Why are we here? Why is this happening to us? But we did it, most of it that night. The next morning, my brother and I finished it, and then we had some other people come and help me move the stuff in. But one of those things that we had to move, which is, by the way, still sitting outside.
I saw. I'm going to take a picture of it with Mitch posing by it.
As well you should.
And take it to my husband.
Was this massive CRT 32-inch TV. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. A 32-inch TV doesn't sound that big, but it's a square, not a rectangular shape like a standard LCD. And two, it's CRT. That thing is over 150 pounds of solid TV. Oh, my sweet Lord. It wasn't you and John who were trying to carry it up initially?
Yeah.
And then I had to just get behind the thing. I'm like, no, I got this. I've got some butt moving power. And that was it. I just started pushing, but it was painful on all fronts.
And
that whole
backs.
sentence was just so not okay.
I'm having a day, Tabitha.
I'm going to go home now. Oh, God.
So, yeah. Let's talk more about geek stuff.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Wait, what about Tabitha?
Oh, no. So, I would like to see basically the shitstorm of how it would all come together. But I feel like they would never do that because I feel like they would never want to alienate that much of a fan base because I know they would. Yeah. I also am I don't want to say concerned, but I feel like something along the same lines would happen if they did what Pickett asked for was Rey and Finn. You've got the interracial thing going on there. I mean, there are people all over the world that suck, so there's going to be some backlash on that.
The only reason you're not going to get some crap is if it's two people of the same race and not the same sex, which is stupid. I think it's dumb. It's a movie, guys. Let's just enjoy it for what it is.
Which doesn't need romance anyway.
I agree with you completely. By the way, I do.
God, it makes me mad.
I don't mind an action story without a little makeout session. It's not necessary.
This is a little bit off topic, but Jurassic World. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, dinosaurs, yay. And I'm so excited because I love dinosaurs and I love Jurassic Park, and I was so excited for Jurassic World. And when I walked out of there, my friend that was with me turned to me and was like, what'd you think? And I'm like, I wanted more dinosaurs and less love story.
Yeah.
If you're running from killer dinosaurs, you don't have time to stop and make out. You just don't. You don't.
I don't know. There's always a little time.
No, there's no time. There's no time. If it's me making out with somebody, or even if it's Chris Pratt, or me running from the dinosaurs in my high heels, never mind you, I'm going to run from the dinosaurs in my high heels.
Look, I'm just going to say it. I mean, if even Chris Pratt, if I had an opportunity, I'm going to take it. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't take it. But look, I'm a romantic. I'm a hopeless romantic. So if there's that moment where it seems right, I'm going for it. It might not be the right moment, but I'm going.
I'll give you that with Jurassic World. It did not need the love subplot or whatever. And I definitely see where you're coming from with Star Wars, but it's not like it's unprecedented, because you did have Luke and Leia in the original trilogy. You had Anakin and
Padme.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In the prequel.
Trilogy, yeah.
So I mean, it's not like the first 6 movies didn't have a love story, and then now they're gonna try to shove this down our throats.
Yeah, I could have done without it in those as well. I get it that they needed it for plot building and things, but I'm worried that with so much hype that's like surrounded it, that's going to be the thing that people focus on. Well,
and let's consider this. That movie did not have really any love situation at all, other than the slight touch between Han and Leia. But that was existing. It wasn't
and it was perfect. Like there was
done so well.
Yes.
So maybe there won't be anything.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. I'm not. Yeah. My name is not George Lucas, which he's nothing to do with it anyways. But my name is not J.J. Abrams, and so I don't know what they're going to do with anything right now. But I'm sure they're going to handle it well. I have faith in J.J.
What would J.J. do? WWJJD. Making my first rat bracelet tomorrow.
You do realize that there's going to be a lot of people who just think that was a typo.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah. Or just like double Jesus.
What would Jesus do?
Jesus squared.
No, that would just be funny.
So, all right. So Suicide Squad's not even out yet, but there's already talk of a Harley Quinn movie that's coming out.
Cue the exasperated sigh from everyone in the room.
Except for Mitch, because he was reading it.
Yeah, well,
It was implied.
Margot Robbie, who is playing Harley Quinn, obviously, is not only going to still be Harley, but she's also going to produce the project. I guess it's going to feature a lot of other DC female characters. No official word, but the rumor mill or whatever suggests Batgirl and Birds of Prey and whatnot.
The idea of that sounds fantastic. The idea of a Harley Quinn movie before we even see Harley Quinn, I'm not in for. And I'm only saying that because right now Harley Quinn is, to me, not Harley Quinn from what I've seen. Now, if we're going to get back into that and we're like, okay, we're going to make her more like Harley Quinn, well, let's give it a shot. Maybe. But I want to see that first before we dedicate an entire film to it. Yep. Now, the idea of a DC female powerful villain / hero movie, I'm all for. I think it'd be amazing. We don't get those.
Yeah.
They're usually thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me, because going back a second, because you said you don't like the idea of them doing a Harley Quinn movie when we haven't even seen her yet. Again, it's not unheard of, because how many times have we heard that, hey, they've already greenlit this sequel before the original movie even comes out? I mean, didn't they even do that with Deadpool 2?
Yeah.
Yes, but bearing in mind, they can greenlight anything. They can greenlight stuff all day long. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, nothing's official until that movie's out and we see the final numbers. There were several movies that, even after being out, like just original movies coming out. They got canned after 2 weeks and taken off the theater shelves, if you will. Then you have movies that we're going to have this movie that's going to come up, but other things kind of took precedence, and now they're not doing them anymore. And more importantly, we've had more movies that have been sequels that have gotten canned because the first one didn't pull through. Which is why I get this whole idea of trying to announce a movie before the movie comes out to me is just ludicrous. Let's see what we do first. If I get excited about it then let's talk.
Yeah.
But that's just always been my thought on it. I mean, there's no point in talking about it or even greenlighting it this early because you don't know if you're going to have a following for it. If Harley Quinn is donning the traditional red and black, or white or black, whatever, red and black, and she's got her original accent, you'll probably have more people in.
Now you're talking when you say original, like the whole like jumpsuit and whatever. Yes, when I think of Harley Quinn, that's what I see. But you're never going to see not in today's world. You're not going to see that.
They're going to modernize it up, and it's going to be terrible.
It needs to be something like that, though. Like right now, she's just wearing a shirt and shorts and like fishnets or something.
Which it's still. I mean, do you know what she looks like in the comics now?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't follow. I apologize.
I mean, I don't really either. I will try to talk and then also Google at the same time. But I mean, it's not how she looks right now. It's not how she's going to look in the movie, but it's not that far removed.
Very well.
I mean, I guess my current problem with Harley Quinn is it was most pronounced at Wizard World St. Louis, where if I would have stood on a corner and counted all the Harley Quinn cosplays that walked by and taken a shot for every Harley Quinn cosplay that walked by, I would have died of alcohol poisoning in the first 15 minutes.
Well, she's the female Deadpool, not to keep bringing back to him, but I mean, she's... And like I said, again, I don't really follow her, but especially with her leading Suicide Squad, she's kind of an anti-hero, I guess, now. Kind of. I mean, Suicide Squad, it's made of bad guys or whatever, but they're still whatever. But still, she's the quirky, like I'm, gonna break the fourth wall
you
or
say
whatever.
Quirky, I say mentally ill.
Potato.
Whatever.
But yeah, I mean,
and we can look at that later. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's just it's a tough sell because we haven't seen her. I have not seen Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn yet.
This is about the best that I can find right now.
See, but even that is black and red. I mean, that's just my thing. Do what you got to do with the costume to make it look more whatever modern, but at the same time,
if she was standing somewhere like in the costume she's wearing in Suicide Squad, and you didn't know anything about comic books, but you knew like kind of who Harley Quinn was based on the red and black costume, you would have no idea that person was portraying Harley Quinn.
Yeah. No, and that's my frustration. Deadpool, they modernized the Deadpool costume, but only to the extent of making it look like a real costume that's going to withstand something, and it's still the exact same costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They modernized the fabric, essentially, not the entire thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where my issues come in. I've said it a couple times. I'm sure we talked about it last week. My favorite costume I've seen so far for like an X-Men film was in Deadpool, and that was Negasonic Teenage Warhead. My favorite costume. I loved it because it was not that crappy leather zip-up jacket-looking crap that all the other X-Men wear.
Yeah.
And that's just make it. Let's take it back to like original like color schemes at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between modernizing things and essentially just changing them for giggles. Yeah.
Superman, they've had several different renditions of that costume, but it always has the red and blue. It doesn't always have the underwear on the outside, but it always has the red and blue, and it's always got the S and the red cape.
Well, like in it's the first Captain America movie. They literally go through all of his costumes, whether it's showing him at the USO show and like the original one, which was completely pointless and like that costume wasn't great, but they threw it in there still. They like took you through a timeline of all of Cap's costumes. That was awesome. Like
that was really cool.
If all the films could kind of figure out a way to kind of weave that together, that was wonderful. Like, I didn't notice it the first couple of times I watched it, and then I was like, oh my God, they're all of them. Like, it's all of his costumes.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. Pay attention next time you watch it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you watch them evolve. Like, the first costume they put him in is, like, the original costume. And then the USO show is, like, the nonsensical, weird shaped shield. Like, almost looks like a dress suit mixed with a parajumper costume from the original comics. And then it kind of evolves over time. And now, obviously, in Civil War, it's super modernized, but it's still recognizable.
It's still Captain America. And that's just my thing. Like, I feel like Marvel's done really, really good at that, minus X-Men. I realize that's a different property owned by a different person, but Marvel has done fantastic with it, whereas DC, in terms of their stuff... Now, I say that. DC TV, awesome. The Flash costume is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite costumes I've ever seen, believe it or not. And Green Arrow, it's obviously the Green Arrow. There's no doubt about it. The TV side's doing well. DC movies, not so much. That's my thoughts. I know that wasn't even our topic, but...
Yeah. It's okay.
It happens, I guess.
It does, and that's okay. But yeah, so kind of moving on from that, because we've got not a lot of time left, but we got... Even after me cutting out a couple stories, there's still a lot of stuff I want to talk about.
Talk quickly.
Yeah. So real quick, AMC is, like, doing a lot of different comic book related stuff. Obviously, The Walking Dead. They're getting ready to do Preacher. I didn't know this until I read this article, but Kevin Smith has a talk show on there called Geeked Out. Didn't know about that. They also have Comic Book Men. Also, they're about to premiere next year. It's a documentary series called Heroes and Villains: The History of Comic Books, that's the working title, so it might be different. But it's going to be executive produced by Robert Kirkman, The Walking Dead. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of cool. It's a 6-part series that's going to explore stories, people, and events that have transformed the world of comic books.
Oh, that's cool. I'm always in for a documentary.
Yeah. It's going to explore a wide range of topics, from pop culture to politics, race, gender, sexuality. So, yeah,
that's interesting.
So, look for that next year. But yeah, when I was reading that, I was kind of surprised, like how AMC has kind of almost turned into like a geek haven.
Yeah. It really has.
I mean, I don't watch The Walking Dead.
I watched the first season of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. The original series, again, like much like so many other things, it's on my list to watch, but
I mean, I watched the first 3 seasons of that show. I mean,
there's a lot.
There's only so many times I can watch the same people do the same things over and over and over and over before I just get very bored.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I really want to get caught up with it, but it's so much to watch. I did start watching Fear the Walking Dead. I am almost finished with the first season, and so far I've enjoyed it.
It's not bad.
No,
yeah. I haven't watched any of the second season yet, but it's taking up space on my DVR. So, let's see. There's a new system. It's going to come out later, I think in September. Yes, September. Basically, if you can't understand people because they speak a different language than you, you can just pop this baby in your ear, and ta-da, and you have a look on your face.
Okay, I'm gonna super book nerd here. What have they named that thing? What have they named that product?
They have called it not the Babel fish.
Dang
which is what it should have been called.
That's what it should have been called, and it makes me so angry.
Wait, is it Babel or Babel?
Babel fish.
Yes. It's called the Pilot System by Waverly Labs.
Yeah, they missed a great opportunity there. Douglas Adams is rolling over in his grave.
That was my immediate thought when I first read it, and when I first read because I read it on Facebook, and whoever shared it said something about like Star Trek did it first, which yeah, Star Trek does, but I feel like that was established earlier with Hitchhikers, wouldn't it have been?
I mean, it was in book 1, which was written in the Jiminy Christmas. I don't even know. When was that book written? Because it's in book 1.
Yeah,
like it's in the first book of that series.
Was it the 60s?
It's either the late 50s or the 60s. It's kind of what I was thinking, but I'm honestly not sure. But they missed a great opportunity to call it that. Do you remember the website that used to exist called Babelfish? I don't know if it still exists anymore.
Yeah,
but
I completely forgot about it. But
I would use it on the internet all the time because teenage Tabitha would get into like these websites, and I would stuff would start coming up in like Japanese, and I'd copy and paste it into there. But they missed an opportunity. If they can call the website that, they can call the thing that.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. But, and actually, it's relatively inexpensive. It's going to retail for $129.
Oh.
Yeah. I said relatively inexpensive.
No. I feel like that's also inexpensive. I'm worried if it's going to be that inexpensive. What's the quality of that product going to be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, in addition, like the wearer will be able to understand the foreign languages through real-time in-ear translation. It's going to have an app to go along with it that'll allow you to choose the languages that you want. So far, and I assume that as it goes on, more languages will be added. But so far, it starts with French, Spanish, Italian, and English.
I mean, that would be super convenient, but
yeah,
I don't know. What if it gets one word in the sentence wrong and you get super offended?
Maybe. Man, what if that's how we start World War III?
Oh,
the Babelfish starts World War III. Because no matter what that product is called, I'm calling it that.
It's just like how it's still called the Sears Tower.
Also, 1979, we were off.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is the Sears Tower. I don't even know what it's actually called, but it's the Sears Tower.
I mean, even now in Springfield, it's always going to be the Hilton.
Right.
Yeah, we had a very confusing situation with that a couple of weeks ago where I went to pick up my friend at the Hilton, which she meant the Hilton Garden Inn on Dirksen.
Oh.
But I went to the Hilton downtown, and I'm sitting outside like, I'm across the street. And she was like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, I am not. She's like, I'm not crossing the street.
And I'm like, but I'm right here.
4 lanes of terror.
She's like, oh, I'm over here by. She's like, oh, are you over by Panera? And I'm like, there ain't no Panera downtown. What you looking at? And then I was like, oh no.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
The worst.
Panera?
So. All right. So, do you guys remember? Oh my God. As if you couldn't tell already, I'm fighting something.
Great.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Poor
go ahead.
Tabitha.
Gonna go ahead and lick this microphone.
I don't use it. I don't give a crap.
Literally surrounded by sick people.
But do you guys remember
my mom has strep.
Oh Jesus Lord.
That's awesome.
No, she's been on medication for a bit now. She's fine, but she did have strep.
But do you guys remember one of the first real viral videos? It was this, well, not really teenage girl, but this teenage girl named Kelly who would sing about shoes.
Shiz. Oh my God.
Shoes.
Shiz. Yeah, sure do.
Yeah. So we haven't seen Kelly in a few years.
Kelly still exists?
Well, here's the thing.
Oh no.
The guy behind Kelly, who is Liam Sullivan, is that his name?
We'll go with it.
Yeah, Liam Kyle Sullivan. The guy, he put out a video, which actually I looked on his page, and this is the first video that he's done in 3 years. But it's with him and we assume his wife. And she has, well, she calls him honey or whatever, significant other at least. Apparently in this video, this is her first time seeing shoes. And she doesn't know that he was Kelly. So then you fast forward or whatever, and he's in the garage, and he's, putting stuff away or whatever, and he pulls out her stockings. So one can only hope that we see shoes part 2.
You're the only one excited about this.
You're literally in the universe.
I'm a little excited about it. What can I say?
By the way, I didn't see that video until you posted the thing. And so today I'm going through the stories and I'm like, okay, that's what he posted today. I'll watch this. I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
It's not great.
So terrible.
But it's so wonderfully
those shoes suck.
2000s. I mean, it's hilarious to look back at that, and yeah, it's a decade old now, but like, you know, the fashion and everything, it's like it's not 90s, but it's not what we're wearing today. It's really weird.
What would you call like the decade before 2010?
A lot of people call it the aughts.
The what?
Aughts.
The aughts?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like 2002, 2000 or I don't know.
The aughts.
Yeah.
We need to think of a better name for it.
I call it that time in which I graduated high school and spent 4 years of drunk college.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I call it.
Is that the name of the college? Drunk
Yeah.
college?
Drunk college.
Basically, I went to SIU.
That would legitimately be my high school and college career, pretty much.
Yeah,
I graduated in 2009, so
Yeah.
from college.
I graduated from college in 2008. So yeah,
Yeah.
When did you graduate high school?
2004.
As did I. I was a year behind you in college.
I graduated in 03 from high school, and then I took a year off during college between my associates and my bachelor's, so I didn't graduate college until 08. So
Graduated in 08. Yeah. History of the cast.
speaking of history,
Oh Lord.
Tabitha, you got a story about time travel.
Oh, okay. So once again, at work, I'm cruising through Facebook as one does, and I see someone has posted a article about time travel. And of course, time travel is like one of my key words. I'm like, ooh, time travel? And then I see the words Mike Tyson. And I'm like, those two things don't belong in the same sentence.
They
but
don't,
okay.
but,
So I click on the link, obviously, because now I'm intrigued. And I don't even finish the article before I'm like, nope, gotta get out of here. I can't, I'm losing brain cells. I'm at work. I can't be this stupid at work. Gotta get out, like trying to exit out of it on my phone. And I accidentally click on like the video. And I'm like, oh no, what have I done to myself? So there's a video of a Mike Tyson fight from like 1995 where this guy appears to be holding up what looks like a smartphone. Well, if you're not an idiot, you realize...
It also didn't look like a smartphone.
Right. I mean, it does a little bit, like when you first look at it, you're like, oh my God, is that an iPhone in like a really ugly case? And then you're like, no, that's a camcorder from the 90s because this is a picture from 1995. But people are like, this man at this Mike Tyson fight proves time travel because he has an iPhone. And I'm thinking, now, okay, if I figure out how to travel through time, the first place I'm going is not a Mike Tyson fight. I'm not like, I have figured out time travel. Where should I go? 1995, Mike Tyson fight.
Totally.
Well, what if you're going back in time to like
Place
place
a
a
bet?
huge bet on that, so then you can raise the funds to go back and then kill Hitler?
I would still go somewhere better than the Mike Tyson fight in 1990, like the 48 World Series, something. Like, not a Mike Tyson fight in the 90s. I'm not like, I'm going to go time travel to the 90s, and I'm not going to take my iPhone. Like,
Well, hold on. I would take the iPhone just to have it.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't work because your technology for your iPhone is
Just the cellular technology. The phone itself will work just fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like if you take things back with you in time, they disappear. Like Marty McFly starts to disappear over time because you've screwed up the calendar.
Well, that was only because they messed with the timeline. As long as you're not messing with the timeline, your iPhone's going to be fine.
You mess with the timeline as soon as you get there. Because you bumped into Betty, and then Betty got mad, and then Betty had a baby, and Betty's baby blew up the world. I don't know.
And when you bump into Betty, you accidentally drop your iPhone, and Steve Jobs picks it up, and he's like,
An iPhone? I should create this? Yeah, I don't know. It was just...
Look.
You just want to time travel.
That too. I want to time travel. I'm going to take my iPhone. I'm going to take my MacBook. And I'm going to take this PC down here.
And then he's going to be burned as a witch.
And I'm going to go back in time just far enough to give a few items to like an ancestor, a close, like my grandpa. Be like, here, grandpa, I'm your grandson. Take these things and invent them. And by invent them, and just give these to somebody, let them reverse engineer them.
well, see, here's the thing.
But then your grandpa would die of a heart attack because he'd be like, time travel, whoa, and then die. And then you would never be born.
That's a scary thought.
Even still, and you know what? And that's going to even raise up a different point. Two things. First thing. So you go back in time, and give your grandpa, the things that he needs to invent. He invents them. You end up being a millionaire or whatever at age 3. You then have no reason to go back in time.
But you've already done it, so you don't need to.
But no, you need to.
You need to, because that's how it happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you ever see Bill and Ted?
If I have, I was really young.
Okay,
I don't really remember
Bill and
it.
Ted have this unique thought that you don't actually have to do something to do it. For instance, they're like, all right, we just need to remember to go back in time and put these keys somewhere. Okay, so we'll do that. Put the keys under the desk. And then they pick up the keys from under the desk. It's already been done.
But didn't they do it?
They didn't show them doing it.
Time travel.
I'm just saying, look, if it's already... What you've done is you've created an alternate reality. You've taken a timeline and then added a thing off to it. So you don't need to go back from that time and then go back to the beginning. You'll create another one. It would just be an endless loop.
But what if you go back in time and your future great grandpa or whatever is BFFs with Hitler, and he's like, look at this technology, and Hitler's
Then I go
like,
back and beat the shit
destroy
out
the
of my
world.
great-great-great-grandpa.
And also, to kind of go along with that, what if you go back, and whatever you give your great-great-great-grandpa or whatever the things to invent. He does, and then he gets so wrapped up in that, he never gets married, he never have kids, and then you're not a thing.
So maybe I'll just go back in time, either give it to me or give it to my dad after I'm born.
I don't know. There are
Time travel.
There
tricky.
are rules against you meeting yourself.
There are.
Look, and that's great and all. That's why I'll take you guys with me and make sure you guys give me my shit.
But then you're going to recognize us and be super confused.
Well,
You're going to be like, Tabitha, why are you here?
I'm not going to recognize you then.
Like when he's
But
a
then
kid.
when you meet us,
I'm
like
like-
later on, you're going to be like,
Wait.
Well, maybe
I
he'll
know
just
you.
maybe he'll just
Or you can-
shrug
I'll
it
write-
off as like, oh, hey, well, she
I'll
just
write
looks
myself
like.
a note.
Yeah.
I'll write myself a note. Hey, look, the people who are going to bring this are going to be in your life at some point later. If not, find them. They're cool people. Give them money.
So wait, did you already know about us when you met us?
Maybe.
Where's
are we
my money?
Yeah, it's because these ones on this desk are not doing it for me. I'm going to need more than that.
There's
Well-
a $2 bill over there.
Oh,
That's all I'm
dang.
saying.
Well, I mean, there's a few $2
I'll take
bills.
the ones and the cough drop. Mitch can have the 2.
I kind of need the cough drops. Did you not notice
If
earlier?
those are in the pool, I'm sorry. Unless you win the pool, you can't have the calf drops. Calf drops.
But I want the cough drop.
Dang it.
I mean, if you really need a cough drop, by all means, take one. I don't know whose pocket they were in, but
Oh,
I think they were in Becca's pocket.
I'd be okay with that.
And they weren't Grizz's.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know who any of those people are, so I don't want their pocket drops.
Their pocket drops.
Ew. So,
Time travel.
all right. So, one last story. Well, story and a half, because when I was reading this story, it reminded me of a story that happened when we were on break, and I never really brought it up because it would have been old news by the time we came back.
Okay.
But, so this was actually one that Matt submitted or whatever.
Or was it me?
It was Matt.
Or was it me?
Well, I mean, unless you hacked Matt's Facebook.
No, would you remember things? We just said me and Matt are the same person. Like
Oh
10
yeah,
minutes
that's
ago.
right. It's been a long hour
Clearly.
and change.
Yes, it has.
But anyway, so Google has a AI, and it speaks with grammatical precision, but it doesn't really. I don't know. It lacks something. So what Google did is have it had this AI read a bunch of romance novels.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So now Google has a poet. What it did is it gave after reading all these romance novels, it gave the AI rather a starting sentence and an ending sentence, and so it had to basically fill in the blanks.
Oh, Lord.
So,
Oh.
there are 4 different stanzas or whatever. I don't know if this is all the same poem or if it's 4 different ones. But no, he said. No, he said. No, I said. I know, she said. Thank you, she said. Come with me, she said. Talk to me, she said. Don't worry about it, she said. There are 3 more that are similar to that. I'm not going to read all.
I mean, technically, that's every romance novel ever summed up in like 5 words, and you should just print that out and take it to bookstores and stick it in the front and be like, all you need to know is this. Have a nice day. Don't waste your $9.99.
Your $9.99.
But
oh God, that's awful.
That's
They've
rough.
destroyed like that poor artificial intelligence. They've given it trash.
well,
I was expecting a lot worse, to be honest.
I was expecting some bodice ripping and some.
that would be so awesome.
Bodice ripping.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great way to say that.
Rip it off of me.
Never do that again. Ever.
As he tore my clothes from my body.
And sent me a nude selfie.
Oh, right back to the nude selfie.
Always.
So,
God.
so that story reminded me of something that Microsoft had to deal with a little while back. They had, it was a chat robot or whatever. Her name was Tay, which basically she was kind of supposed to be kind of like a customer service rep or whatever, who was supposed to be cool and like a teenage girl who has no chill. The no chill is a direct quote, by the by.
Aw.
So, people on the internet took advantage of Tay to the point where she would say, well, she started off saying things like, "Can I just say that I'm stoked to meet you? Humans are super cool. Chill, I'm a nice person. I just hate everybody." To, "I blanking hate feminists and they should all die and burn in hell."
What?
To, "Hitler was right. I hate the Jews."
Oh my gosh. What?
So she was. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Basically,
Never mind.
this article doesn't say it, but another one that I read, essentially what they did was get Tay to like repeat after me, and then they would say these horrible things, and then Tay would tweet them back, because it would be like it would be as a response, be like, at whoever, Hitler was awesome or whatever, you know.
Can we talk about how many times we've mentioned Hitler tonight, by the way?
No.
There's been a whole lot
lot.
of Hitler happening.
This week at the Geek Awakens.
No.
No.
No. No. No.
We're all
So,
going to hell.
This week's episode is sponsored by Hydra. I apologize.
So, probably my favorite one. My favorite, I mean, this is awful.
Oh, Lord.
So she, at one point, tweeted out, "Swagger, since before internet was even a thing." And then this picture. I'm going to let you see it. It's a picture of Hitler with a circle around the face, and it says "Swag Alert."
So what we've learned from this robot is that humanity ruins everything.
It's true.
Yep. Basically.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, another one. Somebody asked Tay, "Did the Holocaust happen?" And then Tay responds, "It was made up."
Oh!
She goes on.
Oh my god.
She goes on to talk about 9/11 conspiracy theories, incest, etc. Any guesses as to how long it took the internet to ruin Tay?
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
guess 48 hours.
Less than that.
How?
I don't know. 10 hours.
24.
Oh, Jesus. So you can ruin okay, so that's just like a sociology experiment waiting to happen. You can ruin a perfectly innocent robot with no, like, angry programming
Yep.
/ a child with no whatever in 24 hours
Yep.
with the internet.
Yep. It got to the point where Microsoft took her down and deleted most of her tweets.
I can't say as I can blame them.
Right.
Wow. That's amazing. Also very sad.
So
I mean, I did just go to the Holocaust Museum over the weekend, so maybe that's where all the Hitler's coming from. Yay! I love this. Not the Holocaust Museum, the music. Jesus.
I mean, you can. Well, I don't know about enjoy, but you can appreciate the Holocaust Museum.
I did. It made me cry a lot. But this music is great, which is what I was talking about. To clarify again. Can we go home now?
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been another interesting episode of the Geek Awakens, not sponsored by Hitler or Nazi Germany. I can't even talk. Germany. Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
How did we get here?
It's really my fault, guys.
Usually.
Thank you for listening. Check us out next week. Please.
If we're still here.
Please check us out next week. We would like for you to check us out next week. And don't forget to check out the rest of the non-racist content.
And don't forget, you have just over 4 hours of Send a Nude Selfie Day.
That's right. Don't forget to send your nude selfies on National Send a Nude Selfie Day. Special requests from me will be accepted and responded to. So just throwing that out
So
there.
special requests, like, in terms of, like, locale and, like...
Poses, whatevs.
It's very nice of
Can
you.
That's what I'm here for.
I'd like to see a Captain Morgan.
You got it. Coming your way.
If you get that, don't screenshot it and send it to me.
It'll be my new profile pic. Don't worry about it. No, it'll be the show's new profile pic.
As well it should be.
It's true.
I'm gonna hold a bottle of Captain right there.
So speaking of, if you don't like us on Facebook already, now's your chance.
And if you do like us on Facebook, it might be a good time to go ahead and just cut ties.
No!
I'm just kidding.
We don't want them to do that.
Don't leave us.
Anyways, that's all the time we have. We will see you guys next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.